Byte-Sized Tech, where we like to blend casual conversations with, some insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets. And today we're going to be diving into the world of air fryers. You know those countertop convection ovens that promise you crispy deliciousness with way less oil? I mean, they're everywhere these days, right? But are they really worth all the hype? Have you been tempted by all those golden brown fries and chicken wings you see popping up all over social media? Maybe you're wondering if it's time to ditch your deep fryer. Or if an air fryer would just end up being another expensive dust collector in your kitchen. Well, stick with us because we've dug through articles and research to try to get to the bottom of this whole crispy conundrum. One of the first things that really struck me was this article that basically called out air fryers for just being glorified convection ovens. Is that really all they are? Just rebranded ovens with a fancy new name?
Well, yeah, there's some truth to that. I mean, air fryers do use the same basic convection technology as a lot of ovens do. But I think what's really interesting is how this technology is implemented in a compact countertop appliance.
Okay, so not exactly a revolutionary new invention. But there's got to be more to the story. Why are air fryers so popular if they're just mini convection ovens?
I think it's all about those design choices that they make that really cater to our modern lifestyles. Think about it. They're convenient, they're compact, and they cook food really quickly. You don't have to preheat a whole oven, which saves you time and energy. And that basket design is really key. It allows for maximum air circulation, which creates that crispy texture that we crave, while also making cleanup super easy.
So it sounds like convenience and speed are really major selling points here. The article even mentioned frozen fries being done in something like 20 minutes. That's way faster than baking them in the oven. But let's talk about crispiness for a sec. If air fryers are just small convection ovens, why do they seem to produce crispier results?
I think that's where the design differences really shine. The article that we looked at actually compared several different cooking methods. So they had a basic air fryer, a premium air fryer, a regular convection oven with an air fryer basket, and even a toaster oven with an air fryer setting. And what they found was that those dedicated air fryers, even the really basic models, they consistently delivered the crispiest results. The smaller cooking chamber and the concentrated airflow seemed to create the ideal environment for achieving that crunch.
What about the convection ovens? Do they even come close?
Not really. Even with the air fryer basket, those full-size ovens really struggled to match the crispiness. They took longer, and the food just wasn't as evenly cooked because of the larger space and the less focused airflow.
Interesting. So size and focused airflow play a big role in achieving that coveted crisp. What about the toaster ovens with the air fryer settings? Were they a total bust?
It was kind of a mixed bag, actually. One model produced some pretty decent results, almost as good as the dedicated air fryers. But the other one really fell short. It produced soggy, disappointing fries.
Yeah, it seems like with those multifunction appliances, you never really know if that air fryer setting is going to truly deliver.
So it's kind of like playing air fryer roulette with those things. You just
Definitely.
never know what you're going to get. That makes me think if I'm actually going to invest in an air fryer, maybe I should stick with a dedicated model that's specifically built for that purpose.
Yeah, I think that's a valid consideration. The article pointed out that those, simple single-purpose air fryers can be surprisingly reliable. They often have fewer features and, fewer things that can go wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm always a little bit wary of appliances with tons of bells and whistles. It seems like the more complicated they are, the more likely they are to break down on you. Sometimes simple is just best, right?
Exactly. Those basic models with just a couple of dials for temperature and time can be quite robust.
Yeah.
They're like the workhorses of the air fryer world. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about fries. But what else can you actually cook in an air fryer? Is it really as versatile as some people claim?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. While air fryers definitely excel at making, those crispy snacks that we all love, they can also be used for a surprising variety of dishes.
Really? Like what?
Well, you can roast vegetables, bake chicken, cook fish, even reheat leftovers. It's all about using that hot circulating air to your advantage.
So it's not just a one-trick pony for fries and chicken wings.
Not at all. The key is to experiment and just see what works best for you. There are tons of recipes and resources online to kind of get you started.
That's good to know. But speaking of resources, let's talk about costs for a second.
Sure.
Are air fryers really worth the investment? Especially when some ovens already have convection settings or even built-in air fryer functions?
Yeah, that's where it gets a bit tricky. It really depends on your individual needs and your cooking habits. If you already have a convection oven that you use regularly, a dedicated air fryer might not be necessary. But if you're looking for something that's specifically designed for air frying with a smaller footprint and faster cooking times, then a dedicated model could be a worthwhile investment.
I guess it's kind of like comparing a sports car to a minivan.
Yeah,
They both have their pros and cons, depending on what you're looking for.
precisely. You know, a minivan can haul the whole family and all their gear, but a sports car is more agile and fun to drive. It all comes down to your priorities.
So where do air fryers fit into, like, the health equation? Are they really a healthier alternative to deep frying?
That's a question that a lot of people have. And while it's true that air fryers use significantly less oil than traditional deep fryers, it's important to remember that they're not a magical health food machine.
So you're saying they're not going to, like, miraculously transform a plate of mozzarella sticks into a healthy salad?
Exactly. You're still cooking food at high temperatures, and some nutrients can be lost in the process.
Okay, so maybe not a health food miracle, but still a potentially healthier option than deep frying. But what about those potential downsides we hear about, like acrylamide formation?
Yeah, that's another important factor to consider. Acrylamide is a chemical that can form in starchy foods when cooked at high temperatures, and it's in link to some health concerns. Air fryers, like other high-heat-looking methods, can contribute to acrylamide formation.
So even though air fryers use less oil, we still need to be mindful of those potential health considerations.
Absolutely. The key is to use them in moderation and as part of a balanced diet.
Well, this deep dive has been full of interesting insights. I have to admit, I'm starting to see air fryers in a new light. They're not just a trendy gadget, they're a practical tool with some real benefits. But what about you? Have you tried an air fryer? What do you think? They're cracked up to be...
I think they can be a really valuable addition to any kitchen. But like with any appliance, it's important to choose the right one for your needs and use it wisely.
It's almost like they're that friend,
Yeah.
who's full of surprises.
Hmm.
They might not be perfect, but they can definitely bring something special to the table.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. You know, they might not replace every other cooking method you have, but they can definitely expand your, culinary options and add a little bit of fun to your kitchen routine.
To wrap things up, it seems like air fryers are definitely more than just hype. They offer some real benefits like convenience and speed and got that coveted crispy texture we talked about. But they're not miracle workers. And I think it's important to be aware of, potential downsides like that acrylamide formation we talked about and the temptation to overindulge in, fried foods.
Exactly. They're a tool. And like any tool, they can be used effectively or ineffectively. The key is to understand their strengths and their limitations and make, informed choices about them, choices that align with your health goals and your lifestyle.
This deep dive has definitely changed my perspective on air fryers. I'm less skeptical now and a lot more curious, to be honest. Maybe I'll even try one out myself. What about you listeners? Have you joined the air fryer craze yet? What are your experiences? Do you have any, favorite recipes or tips that you want to share? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.